G'day guys, Steve Morgan from Fishing Monthly Magazine's up here at Mooloolaba with Pat Jones from Marine Safety Innovations. And Pat, you've got a long history both building boats up here on the Sunshine Coast and building boat safety products. This is an interesting craft we got here. It's called the Waverider. Can you give us a little bit of history of how it came to be? Because this is more than just your standard aluminium tinny, isn't it?
Oh, Steve, this is way more than just a standard aluminium tinny. It stems from the Captain boat collar. Years ago, back in the 80s, I played with hydrodynamics and hydrofoils and that. And in 2000, I designed, which is now patented, the Captain boat collar, that forms a large reverse chine on just a standard tinny. It does more than just the reverse chine. It adds the stability, so it turns the boat into something you can fish out of, two fish on one side, that sort of thing. With that design, because it was so popular and people raved about it, I thought if I don't start building aluminium boats with that wide reverse chine designed into it, then I'll fall behind. Someone else is going to do it. So I took out an Australian registered design on it, and we've now started the series of Waverider boats.
Now, the Captain, that boat collar, it's an amazing product. It turns your roly-poly tinny, which people are afraid to get into a real stable, a real fishing platform, doesn't it? And you've sold hundreds of those all over the world.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, we export them, not to any great quantity, as much as we'd like to, but the shipping details, the costs are quite high, but it's mainly Australia, New Zealand. We've got quite a few there, but there's I think there's over 700 now we have on boats out there.
Yeah, you betcha. And everyone that's got these products absolutely loves them. Tell us about the theory of the reverse chine. We see reverse chines on a lot of boats, but not to the extent which is on this Waverider. This has got a very deep reverse chine. Tell us what it does, hydrodynamically.
Yeah, good question. Hydrodynamically, with hydrofoils and that sort of thing, it's all based on aerodynamics in a liquid. But with a liquid, you can't compress it. And that's the difference. And I used an inverted V to compress the liquid, producing lift, which is hydrodynamics, put on either side of the boat. When you're travelling, you've got a hydrodynamic lift on either side of the boat. The size of the chine also depends on the amount of lift that you get, and the performance of the boat is enhanced amazingly. Now,
the comment you had was if you've got a tinny and put these flotation on the side, it gives it those performance. This is built into this boat. Tell us the process of this boat. Like, you don't just do this 4.5 metre, like you can scale this up to as big as you like, can't you?
Yeah, that's correct, Steve. The 450 is setting the standard for the rest of the fleet. This boat will be just scaled up. Naval architects have got the process to be scaled up. So on this boat, the chine's 150 millimetres wide. On a 6 metre boat, it'll be about 215 millimetres wide. And so you're going to get the same performance. As I say, the bigger the boat, the smaller the ocean. So the seas are the same. The bigger the boat, the more it'll handle the chop and everything. Yeah.
You betcha. Now tell us specifically this boat. This is your own boat, obviously. Tell us what it's set up for and what you use it for up here at Mooloolaba.
Okay, this one's for casting. We like to sort of throw our lures around, soft plastics and that sort of thing. So it's designed so that we can walk all the way around the outside of the boat. Walk on the side decks. As you can see, the side decks are nice and wide, so that we can flick lures and 2 or 3 people can fish out of the 4.5 metre boat quite comfortably and safely. It doesn't roll. It's like a catamaran.
You betcha. Oh, well, the best way we find to find out these things is to get it on the water, so let's do that now. Pat and I are going to take this for a test and see just how she goes. So, like we always do in the Fishing Monthly boat test, we've dumped Pat off on the beach, and Michael Fox and I have come out and spent an incredibly calm morning out here in the bay at Mooloolaba. And luckily there's a little bit of leftover chop out the front, and we got to feel how this Waverider hull performs. Does land very softly, very quietly, and that's indicative of a well-made boat. with this man's history in the industry, you'd expect the boat to be well made. It lands quite softly. Those reverse chines kick in and land just softly. This Suzuki, very quiet. Of course, it's running now. Maxes out at about 5,100 RPM in the low 40s, 42, 43 kilometres an hour. So it's no speed machine, but I tell you what, it's going to be very economical. It hasn't got any fuel readings on this, but if you weren't getting 3 to 4 kilometres per litre of fuel burned, I'll be drinking that petrol. And as advertised, this is a very stable boat. In the cutaway footage now, you can see Michael Fox fishing up off the edge of it. It is a very stable boat. You can fish 2 people out of it on one side, no worries at all. You can get your feet underneath these edges. You don't get that real tilt that you get on lots of other tinnies. I'm a pretty big fan also of the underfloor storage. There's a bit of underfloor storage under the front deck, but some massive amounts of storage under these seat panels. They open up. You've got your battery on this side, you've got storage on the other side. It's a pretty neat setup. The other thing I really like is the fact that this boat's got a drive-on trailer. And in this day and age, you shouldn't have to get your feet wet to launch and retrieve your boat. Well, you don't in this craft as well. All in all, I think this boat's set up really well for light offshore fishing. For inshore fishing, you'd probably need a Minn Kota on the front and some sort of a different rod storage setup. But for throwing soft plastics and snapper, etc., I think it's a great thing, and that's obviously what this boat here, and this is Pat's own boat, that's what it was designed for up here. So for more information on these boats, make sure you check out the website below. But until then, I think it's time for Foxy and I to do some more wave jumping in the Waverider. So let's do it.